Hi everybody, so glad you're back for another week of learning. And it is Monday. Usually we don't do videos on Monday, but it seems that you watch them better on Mondays than Fridays. So I've decided to do them Monday through Thursday instead of Tuesday through Friday. So here we go. Last week we were talking about figurative language, and that's what we're going to be talking about for this week also. But before we start with our lesson, I'd like to ask you to do a couple things for me. I need you to, if you have a cowboy hat, find it, and some cowboy boots. And if you have a favorite stuffed animal, you can find that. That would be helpful. So those are two things we're going to use later this week. So if you find those things, you can keep those by your bed or in your bedroom somewhere, because we're going to be using those later this week. So this week we're going to be talking about Earth Day and also about the Oklahoma Land Run. So those things have something to do with that. All right, so let's get started with our lesson for this week. Let's switch. Okay, we have week 5. I've got a picture of the Earth since we're going to be talking about Earth Day. Last week we talked about our figurative language and we did similes and metaphors, which that's comparing things by using like or as, or not by using like or as. We've got our idioms over here. That was like it's raining cats and dogs. We've got alliteration where we start words with the same letter next to one another. This week we're going to be talking about personification. So today's lesson will be about personification. Let's see what that means. Personification is giving human attributes or characteristics to something non-human. So let's look at one here. It says, personification, giving human qualities to animals or objects. The stars winked at me. Well, obviously stars don't wink, but because they're saying the stars winked, that's how they make a star like a person. People can wink, and now they're changing an object like a star into something that has a personal characteristic like winking. Okay, here's another one up here. It says, the car was suffering and was in need of some TLC. You can see the car is not feeling well, and he's got his ice water pack up here, maybe heating pack, and TLC is true love and care. And so they are saying that because the car doesn't feel good, somebody needs to make him feel better and give him some TLC. So that's how they made him, and he even looks like a person because the car doesn't usually have a face. So that was what they did to use personification with those two items. So what I want you to do this week is I want you to think of your favorite animal today, whatever, and it doesn't have to be, obviously some of us have more than one favorite. I love all animals. I'm an animal lover. So you can draw a picture of your animal, and then you can give it a speech bubble or a facial expression or an outfit, or it can be doing an activity that makes that animal have personification. So an example of that might be if you drew a picture of a tiger and the tiger was roller skating down the street. That tiger is being made to be having characteristics like a human, and tigers don't roller skate. And so that would be personification. You could also use speech bubbles where the animal is actually talking like we do in our comic strips, or you could use thought bubbles. So that's what we're going to do today. So you can do that with any piece of paper. So let me just show you, like, here's a picture of my tiger. It's my white tiger. So I could put a speech bubble up here and my tiger could be saying something, or I could put some sunglasses on my tiger. So I'll use my tiger. I've got that tiger, and then I've got a colored tiger here too. There's the orange tiger from a different angle. And I will be using those, and I'll be giving them a speech bubble and doing something to them to make them have more personification characteristics. Okay, so that's your assignment for today, is to personify an animal, and you need to draw it. You can draw it on any kind of piece of paper that you have and make it have human characteristics and traits, okay? Because animals, sometimes our dogs act like people, so do cats, but you can pick any animal. Because it's Earth Day, I would like it to be a wild animal, not a domesticated animal like a house cat or a dog or a horse. But you could use, I guess, some farm animals, but don't use cats or dogs. That's just too easy. So pick a different animal, some type of animal that would be wild and exotic, all right, that doesn't normally live with people, although some people keep tigers as pets. Weird. All right, so let's go ahead and let's look at our word for this week, for today. And our word is despite. And I didn't have a good picture for this because despite the part of speech, how it's used in our story is a preposition. And so we haven't had one of those in a while. Now, preposition, we're going to use at the beginning or at the middle with a comma usually. So this says despite, and it says, despite all the home ec bagel pizza stuff, Amy and Lance aren't talking. So we've got it at the front, and then there's our comma right there. So that's our preposition. So I want you to look up what the definition for that, despite, and that's the sentence that's very similar to how it's going to be used in our story today. Okay, so last week when we finished our story, Harvey was making fun of Mike because he wouldn't eat the hot dog with the bite taken out of it, and all the kids were going to pay him money to eat it, and Mike was like, I ain't doing it. I'm not eating that nasty hot dog. And then Harvey's like, I will, and so he ate it, and then he threw up. So Yoda was right that he should not have eaten that hot dog. So I'm going to be reading the new chapter today, which is called, let me show you the picture. Yeah, there's old Tommy. He's got the Sarlacc arm around him, which is from Star Wars. It says, the absence of Origami Yoda and the series of disasters resulting from it. And this is told from Tommy, the guy who's actually collecting all these letters for the school board in this case file. All right, so this is by Tommy. And he's the kid that always has a comment at the end like Harvey. Dear School Board, so you've already heard about how Dwight got sent home after the whole prepare to meet your doom thing. Well, here's what's happening right now. Doom! It was like the minute Dwight and Yoda were gone, everything that had helped us achieve did a nosedive into the Sarlacc pit. And it feels like we're still in there, getting slowly digested. So he's saying it's pretty bad. Despite all that home ec pizza bagel stuff, Despite all that home ec pizza bagel stuff, Amy and Lance got into this huge argument about a book and aren't even speaking to each other right now. Could Origami Yoda have prevented that? Totally. Lance, spoil ending of holes. You must not. Then Mike ended up bawling in class again for reasons no one knows. He brought in a bunch of his Warhammer figures. This kid, Chad, thought that they were action figures and picked one up and broke it. Mike went nuts. He was crying and accusing everybody like there was some sort of conspiracy to break his Warhammer figures. Could Origami Yoda have prevented that? Totally. Bring breakable toys to school. Do not. Could Yoda have helped me too? I sure wish he had, because my life sucks right now. All because I bought Sarah the wrong thing. I know we already read about how Lance and Amy had the pizza bagel things going on. Well, that's what Sarah has been doing with Tater Tot, sitting with him in home ec every single day. It makes me sick to think about it. I don't have any classes with her, so I'm lucky if I even get to talk to her for a couple of minutes before school or at lunch. Meanwhile, he's there with her cooking and goofing off and around in the kitchen like some cable TV romance movie. But I had a chance to make up all for that by buying her an awesome birthday present. If Origami Yoda had been around, I would have asked what to get her. Of course, I emailed Dwight to see if he would ask Origami Yoda and email me back, but he never answered. But I wasn't too worried because I had a great idea and I got her this amazing graphic novel called Robot Dreams. Now, it's so great. It's a really beautiful story, and I thought she would go crazy for it. I gave it to her in the library before school. She kind of looked at it funny, like she wasn't sure about it, but I knew once she started reading it, she would love it. And then guess who shows up? Tater Tot with a teddy bear, dressed like Elvis. You squeeze its foot and it plays Elvis singing, "Won't you be my teddy bear?" Then I didn't even realize what a total disaster it was until the next day when Rondella told Mike, who told me that Sarah was going to go on a date with Tater Tot. They were going to play miniature golf together. That made me feel even sicker than the pizza bagels. And here's Tater Tot and his Elvis teddy bear. That's bad. So he's feeling pretty bad. So I felt even sicker than the pizza bagels, and all because he was the one who bought her a teddy bear while I got her a book. Ugh! If only Origami Yoda had been here to say, "Teddy bear, you must buy." I could have at least found out that was less obnoxious than Tater Tot's gift. I could have found a better one. But things are even worse for Kellen. Sarah still likes me for a friend, I guess. I hope. But Rondella hates Kellen now. She won't even talk to him after what he did. Origami Yoda could not have told him, no, do it not, do it not. And he would have listened because Kellen does whatever Origami Yoda says. But Origami Yoda wasn't there to say no, and Kellen never listens to me. So he did it. And now Rondella wants to kill him. Harvey's comment. The problem with you guys is you blame me or Darth Paper or Dwight being gone for everything. I mean, Kellen didn't need any Jedi wisdom to know that his artwork makes people want to barf. Anyone with a brain would have known that. And then Rondella would freak out about his artwork. Yeah, I guess freak out's a good word. And here's Kellen. He drew a picture of himself crying. With a broken heart. Poor Kellen. I wonder what he did to Rondella. We'll have to read about that and see what happened, and I bet that's next. Yes, it is. The next chapter is about why Kellen and Rondella are not even talking to each other because she's so mad at him. Okay, so that was a good chapter. That's telling us that poor Tommy has lost Sarah to Tater Tot. Mike is crying again because somebody broke his toys. Kellen and Rondella aren't even speaking to each other. So everything's, like he said, going straight to the Sarlacc pit because Origami Yoda's gone. So that's what he's wanting the school board to see there. All right. Now, because it is Earth Day week this week, we're going to, like I said, we're going to do some activities. So make sure that you do your animal tonight. You need to find your animal, draw your animal, and you can draw your animal doing something with people characteristics, human characteristics. You can do speech bubbles, you can do word bubbles, you can do a sentence at the bottom, something that makes personification part of your animal. So let's do our Factor Crud question today. All right, so today says, tap water in New York City is one of the purest tap waters in America. Tap water in New York City is one of the purest tap waters in America. That means the water that they drink out of the faucet is super clean. So you have to decide if that is true or not about New York City. All right, so I have a little video today. I know with this COVID stuff that's been going around, there have been a lot of bad things that have happened, and I hope that you guys are thinking about all the people that are involved in that and saying some prayers for them. But there are some good things. The good thing that's been going on is the earth has been healing. So this is a perfect time to have Earth Day this week. There have been tons of stories about how the earth has been healing because there are not so many people out polluting the world. So I've got a little video of one of the positive things that have come out of this. So I'm going to show you. So let me flip this around and we will get out of here and we will go to our... Okay, so if there is anything good, which there really, this is horrible, we would never want this to happen. But they're trying to find some positive things to say about what's going on. So this is something positive. It says the canals in Venice, which is in Italy, are clear for the first time in decades. So they're going to show us the canal is where the people, I don't know if you've ever seen any videos about Venice, but you should look those up today. It's really cool. They ride these really cool little boats and they have sticks and people push them down the canal and they can look. But because there's been too many people in the canal, it pollutes the water and it stirs up all the sediment on the bottom, and so the canals are always dirty and you can't see anything in them. But because there haven't many people on there right now, the canals are cleaner. So we're gonna watch a little video about why they're saying there's a little upside, trying to find something positive in something that's so horrible. So let's watch this. Look at the little fishies. Can you see them swimming? Yeah. Little fishies. There's the dolphins. Okay, so that was just a little short video. Italy has been one of the hardest places hit in the continent of Europe with the coronavirus, but They were trying to find something positive, and that was something that they found, that the canals are clean enough to see the fish now, and the dolphins were returning. So that was something that they found that was positive. So you need to think about not only finding your stuffed animal and your cowboy boots and your hat if you have one. You need to do a little bit of research, because on Wednesday of this week we're going to do an activity. So if you want to go ahead and start researching, I want you to research ways that we can help heal the earth, things that we can do as people, or ways that the earth is being healed right now. Good stories, positive stories, so we can spread some positivity, because Earth Day is the 22nd. All right, so I will see you tomorrow. So do your animal thing. It's going to be super fun. Make sure and get your animal, whatever animal it is, and try to change your animal into something that has human characteristics. I'm going to work on changing my tigers into something human-like, okay? I love you. Have a great day. And remember, kindness is a language everyone can hear.